Hello Drive Tribe, and welcome to the first video on an epic journey. Today we're going to be trying to fit, although clumsily, some ignition leads on my MG3. It's to try and cure a bit of boredom while we're stuck inside during this coronavirus pandemic. So come on then, let's go and take a look at how badly I can fit these. Right, so apologies for the terrible state of my engine bay. I haven't cleaned the car in possibly at least 2 months on the exterior. It's probably about half a year since I actually cleaned the engine bay itself. But, you know, it is what it is and we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping there isn't much crap in here, but first of all what we're going to do is we've got to take the airbox off. So, if I remember rightly from when I fitted my air filter on this, it's this awful sort of, I forgot what they're called, they're like Jubilee clip, that's the word. And this shows you how much of a pain this is to take off. You should have to lift this, come on. Right, I know you've got to take off the tools. You've got to take off the oil filler cap, which is going to be a right pain in the ass, come on. There we go. Got that safely. No mayonnaise, that's good. Always got to check that with an MG Rover car. Well, I mean, it's not really MG Rover, is it? But and then this is the tricky bit, because it's on these sort of stiff as anything podiums. The right hand side, the left hand side's come off. I'm just trying to. There we go. So that's at least that bit off. Come on. We'll get this off. Yeah, right. That's it. Come on, come on. Problem is there's one at the back somewhere. Oh, yes, get in. There we go, one airbox. And by looking just through this one, the air filter actually looks pretty clean in there. You probably can't see that, but that's good. The airbox is filthy though. So maybe give that a wipe. Put it back on. I'm just gonna replace the oil filler cap for now, just so nothing actually goes in there. Right. Okay, so we're doing a bit of a close-up now. So now that we've actually got the airbox off, finally, this looks really bloody complicated. Oh god. I think what we're trying to do is take out. Right, I'm going to take this out. I feel like I'm going to break my car. So that one goes there. That's number. We might need some hold music. So that's number. Okay, so we've got the first one out. The ignition leads, as much as the rest of the car is actually built well, despite the massive prejudice over Chinese cars being terribly built, like, you know, this engine is the main downside of this car. It's not terribly built. The whole car is actually well put together, especially as well as it was put together in the most ludicrous British car place in Birmingham, where most people think the cars from there were built terribly. But the parts for the cars, as much as the cars are put together well and they have decent parts, kind of, some of the electrics can go wrong. One of the things is these ignition leads. The ignition leads on this 1.5 engine from SAIC can tend to make it run a bit lumpy, which isn't great, especially when you're pulling away from cold. I always find that really does it for some reason. So I've finally taken the first one out, so that can go. And what we have here is some new performance ignition leads from Magnicor. Now Magnicor specialise in making literally just ignition performance parts. That's quite nice, they've left a message. Your leads and ignition leads have been handmade, tested and quality checked by Anna. So if they've been handmade, let's hope they weren't handmade in the Midlands, because if it's anything like this car and all the other British cars that I've owned, it's maybe not built as well as an Audi or a VW, but it's put together with love. Let's say love, yeah, that sounds a bit better. The only problem I've got is I looked up a bit of a thing or two, because these leads are actually specifically made for the MG3. They're the only performance leads you can actually get for it. But I had a bit of a problem with the fact that there's numbers on here. Now, it's nothing bad. Apparently, I had a look on some MG3 forums, yes, there is such a thing, about how to fit the leads. Now, apparently one's longer than the other just, so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is find one that's the same length. The one that I've just taken out and thrown halfway across the drive, I'm going to find the one that's the same length as one of these, and then put that one back in first, and then remove the other one, and vice versa. So, I'll crack on with that then, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so I've deduced that's not probably the best idea, so we're going to need the pliers again, and what we're actually going to do is take the other one out as well. Mainly because if one's the difference between the two new ones is so minute that I don't want to get them wrong. So I tell you what, this time around I'm going to take the actual car end out, the head end. There we go. Pliers come to the rescue again. And then we'll just wriggle that one through. Oh, that was much easier that time. So there we go, there's the second one out. That one looks much cleaner than the other. It gives us a bit of a better view. Right, so I'm pretty sure this one is that one. Now, it states in the instructions that one thing that you must be sure of when fitting ignition leads is that there's no contact failure or anything. So, yeah, so I best put these in right. So this one went in, that one there. Just trying to make sure that it all goes in properly. God, it's hard to push. This one came through here. So, as you can probably see now, the new ignition leads are now actually in. God, that took a lot of work to actually get. It's just these two cables actually going in these slots. The actual cables are thicker than the clips that they're meant to fit in. So in the instructions it did state that to make sure that there isn't any gaps in between the actual ends of the leads and the coils or whatever part of the car they are. I honestly don't know what I'm doing. This is like budget basic engineering, because I haven't a clue what I'm doing here. But they are now in, as in will be. They really they look a bit further up. I mean, you can't see it on the camera, but they look a bit further up from where I'm looking. But they were a bit longer than the original plug leads. The plug leads were a little bit shorter on this length, whereas they've got some sort of like seal around them that's a little bit longer. So what we'll do now is we'll start up the engine and just check that I haven't blown my car up. Well, that's good news. So the thing is she starts up now, so I'll give it a quick rev, make sure it maybe feels a bit different or anything at first. And also you get to hear it without an air filter, and it sounds actually quite good, like any car without an air filter does. Fantastic. Right, let's get it back together. Now, I've actually decided to film this next bit because it's going to be not funny, but different, to say the least, to fit this airbox back on. Now, just make sure that cable's actually packed in there tight, because that's a lot of electrics. Now, the way this airbox actually fits on is you've got sort of four, don't really know what to call these, bongs, whatever, that fit onto these pins here. Now, the worst one is that one, because you've got to fit the actual airbox hole into it. And yeah. Hoping this comes off. Please don't fall into the engine bed. Come on! Oh no, I've really buggered that up, haven't I? Okay, so as a sort of final addition as well to this, I've just seen in the box that we got a sticker. And who doesn't like a sticker on the back of a car? So I think I'm going to pop that there because it goes with my ITG one for the air filter. There we go. Yeah, doesn't that look nice? So there we go, that's my ignition leads now fitted on the MG3. And I'm already feeling the difference even though I haven't even had a drive in it yet. It will be some time before I have a drive in it yet with this whole coronavirus pandemic, but it is, you know, it's something that I have to look forward to now. There will be more performance parts hopefully for the MG3. It isn't the quickest car in the world. The car, when it was first launched, was and I mean, to be honest, still now with the new facelift model, it has got a horrendously dull and boring engine. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. I mean, it makes, I think it's 109 brake horsepower. It could do with a turbocharger on it, I'll say that. I mean, that's something to consider, but I think there is a couple of problems with putting a turbocharger on an MG3, but that's something for a different video altogether. But with what I've got as standard, it would be nice to see what we could make out of it. So if you've got any ideas of what you'd like to see from the MG3, other than scrapping it, because I know that's going to be in the comments, don't say it, because I actually quite like my car, even though it is a budget hatchback. I have got some good things lined up for it. I have got an exhaust. I hopefully coming at some point. That is the next performance thing that I do want for it. I've also got some fog lamps to fit to the car that look decidedly retro, and I quite like them. And just some other bits and bobs. I've got some interior things to do and all of that sort of stuff. And then hopefully either before or once it's finished, I'm going to be doing a special road trip. Now, I'm not going to let much on about this because it's something that I hold quite close to me in case of an article for Drive Tribe. I've been planning this for quite a while, and I was hoping to do it this summer, but that looks like it might not happen. But all I'll say is it's in a semi-famous route in Scotland, so I look forward to doing that. If you'd like to keep in touch with what I do on my project MG3 or the other articles that I do, or hopefully this should be the start of some videos that I do as well, why not give me a follow here on Drive Tribe or subscribe to me on YouTube, because that's probably where this is going to be posted. And also join my tribe, An Epic Journey. That's where I usually post more of my articles and my videos as well. It's just my sort of hub. Follow me on Drive Tribe, subscribe to me on YouTube, and join An Epic Journey. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.